Hello to all of my friends, family, and loved ones all across the world. It is your one and only Super Para Prince. And I apologize for not making videos for the past 2 days. I have had a lot of stuff on my mind, being that it is getting closer to the holidays. I am, missing my mom very much. She passed in 2011 in August, which just so happens to be the same month my best friend was murdered by his own cousin, and the same month as my accident. And sadly, it was 2 years and 12 days after my accident. So it's just my dad and myself this Christmas and New Year's, as usual. We are missing I'm missing my 2 older sisters in my family. I would like to say Mandria Chile, Needham Chile, Isabella, and Gates. I miss you all so very much, and I hope I can make it home possibly in 2020 to see you all. To Audrey Covington, Lee Covington, Haley, and Parker Covington. The same with y'all. Uncle and your brother loves and misses y'all so very much, and cannot wait until I get to see y'all. Well, get to see all of you again. But until then, I hope all of y'all have a wonderful holidays. Traveling back and forth, because I know how y'all are. Y'all are always on the roads during the holiday season, so please be careful out there. And Dad and myself will be thinking of y'all. Being that it is way past my dressing and all of that good stuff, I just want to crack a few jokes and just let y'all in on a couple of really sweet things that have been said to me over the years, and just some of the little funny moments that I've had. First off, it was in 2010 when I went home the very first time after my accident to see everybody. Sorry to put you on blast, but I was very, very lucky, and I got to spend quite a bit of time with my first kiss, Julia Hayes. I will never forget that night. It was 12 o'clock midnight on 1999-2000, so that was a very just memorable moment in itself. But when the clock struck 12, I just remember my heart beating so fast and thinking like I'm gonna screw it all up, but it was very smooth and just amazing. I am so happy that it was this girl who was my first kiss. It was incredible. Yeah. So cut to the year 2010 when I got to spend some time with Julia. We ended up going to my godfather's house, Tim Blakely. He has been part of my life since I was probably around 7, 8 years old, maybe. He is my godfather, and I love him. He's a wonderful man, and I can't wait to see you when I come home again also. But he had built me a ramp at the back of his house where he was living at the time, and it wasn't nowhere near up to code. It was just, a little quick makeshift ramp, and it just went into grass and soft dirt. So we had all been inside and everything. Julia had come along, and so, of course, like me being me, and still just, I'm not gonna lie to you all out there, like, this is one of those ladies that you regret everything that you may have done wrong. And this was in 8th grade, and all I did wrong was break up with her on accident because of like somebody had said something that wasn't, it was some petty little thing, but no, I'm just saying this is the type of woman who I would marry in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie. And then there was also just one other lady out there, and I am sorry to put you on blast also, but I have to. Beth Cox. Yeah, you are wonderful and terrific, and I just hope you are as happy as you deserve to be, and I wish you just the best. I know you're doing well for yourself at your job and your company, and so just want to say that I miss you so much, and yeah, I'm sorry if I ever hurt you in any way, but yeah, those are the only two ladies in my entire life that I would marry in the blink of an eye, just because of what's inside of them. They are the most beautiful, loving, kind, sincere, pure, just an incredible person. And then their natural beauty just is just, and a plus. They're very beautiful women. But anyways, back to the story. We had been at my godfather's house for a while. It was my mother, my father, I believe just all my sister Audrey Covington, Lee Covington, and little Haley. She was only 2 back then, and then myself along with Julia. So it was just Julia and myself who were going around the porch to go down the ramp, and she asked, if I needed any help, and I was just like, no, I got it, and I was gonna go down first and everything, and well, when I went down, I did not realize how fast I would be descending. So instead of popping my tires up high enough, they actually dug into the ground, and I basically went head first, and my entire chair went with me, and basically my hands and my face is what stopped me from falling all the way. And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I got it, no problem. And I was able to, with my weight, finally push myself back up. But that was the first time I fell frontwards when it came to Julia. The second time, I was actually on the phone with her, and my dad and myself had just gotten back from somewhere, and I had taken the tippers off of my wheelchair, and I had forgotten about it. Well, I was on the phone with Julia, and I was coming out of our house in Sanford, North Carolina, and my brother-in-law, he had built a really nice ramp for me, and at the bottom of it was just gravel at the end of our driveway. And so I remember going down the ramp, just always pop back, don't let your casters hit first. Well, I was on the phone, and as soon as I got down to the rocks, I went back to make sure I came back enough, and just the next thing I know, my 2 front legs were basically just over the back of my head. I had fallen backwards, and my legs and everything went with me, but my hand was still like this, just on the phone, can you hear me now? And I was just like, Julia, can I call you back in a minute? I just fell backwards. And so she was just like, oh yeah, yes, do whatever you need to. So that was the second time that I had taken front or backwards tumble while either speaking to her or being in her presence. But no, those were 2 little funny things that happened just while I was at home the first time. Other than the first time my Aunt Joan Oakley had come over. Now this is my favorite aunt, my favorite aunt. I love her so much, and I had to do it. I had to do it to my Aunt Joni Boney. I was sitting on the couch in the living room. My sister Mandria was on the right side of me, and my Aunt Joan was on the left side. Well, I believe my sister was trying to show my aunt a picture or something, and my aunt had leaned over, and she had put her arms down on my legs and everything. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh, Joan, please get up, that hurts. And her eyes just lit up, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry." And I was just like, "Joan, I'm playing." I said, "I can't feel nothing." And she was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and like that. Oh, that was just another thing that we use. Us paraplegics, quadriplegics, all of us have done some kind of like a little prank on one of our loved ones like that. And if you say that you haven't, then you have to be lying. Because that is probably the best, probably the first thing that you would pick up if you were going to war. Like, that's probably the best product in the entire, all of our arsenals, is using that line is hey, something hurts, when we cannot feel a damn thing. But other than that, I mean, I know those weren't anything, too funny or whatever, but just to me, in that moment, and just the way everything happened, that was just like insanely funny to me. It just might be my sense of humor, or I don't know, maybe you had to be there. And then this is a good one. My mom, she was so used to Julia calling to speak to me while I was at home, because she would come home each weekend when she was going to Appalachian State University up in the mountains in western North Carolina. And that was probably around over a 4-hour drive. So she was actually going way out of her way to, just come and spend time with me. And that meant the world, especially when you're fresh out of an accident and you go back home or somewhere like that, and just somebody that you have been thinking of since, oh my goodness, since the day that I was dumb enough to break up with her, that was just incredible. But what's funny about that is, we were sitting there one night. It was probably around 8, maybe 9 o'clock. The phone rang, and my mom answered it, and next thing I know, she was just like, "Adam," she was like, "Julia's on the phone." And I was just like, "All right, Mom." I was just like, I got it in here. And I pick up the phone, and it was actually the girl that I was dating at the time, from the village that I lived in, Angela. And she was just like, "You need to tell your mom that I'm not Julia, blah, blah, blah." And I don't understand why Julia would be calling your house. And I was just like, she calls to speak to me, and that's why she would call. But yeah, she was incredibly jealous like that. I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, that happened. But no, the sweetest thing that anybody has ever said to me since August 17th of 2009 was when it was one of the first nights Julia had came over, and we would sit in my bed, watch TV, and basically talk the entire time. And we were so comfortable together that like she would actually like kind of like lay on my chest or whatever, and I would just, you know, have my arm like over her shoulder, and I would just, you know, like rub her shoulder, like caress her shoulder, and just like listen, and we would just have the most like deep, interesting, just awesome, just like an amazing time, great conversation. But I remember asking her, I was just like, Julia, I was just like, you know, I said, I'm never gonna be able to find a girl or anybody who is gonna want to be with me. I was just like, I'm basically half a man. You know, like I can't stand up. I was just like, I mean, I'll never be able to hold hands with the woman that I love and be able to just walk down the beach or just hold her hand and walk anywhere. And I was just like, I'll never be able to walk up to somebody and ask them if they would care to dance. And I was just like, you know, I said, honestly, I was just like, tell me. I was just like, if I asked you to dance, I was just like, what would you say? Or I said, or what would you do? And I was just like, and I was like, please be honest, because I like you're my great friend. So, and these, I will never forget the words she said. She said, Adam, she was just like, I would just look at you and I would simply sing. Where she just said that what she would simply do is she would just simply just sit in my lap. And that is how we would dance. And just hearing that just really melted my heart. Because I was not expecting to hear that. I was expecting to hear, you know, what we really hear in reality is no thank you, or, you know, like maybe later or something, or how do you expect me to dance with you? But yeah, I was just really amazed by that answer, and so that is something that has stuck with me for all these years. But yeah, so that was a little sweet story, but yeah, I really can't think of anything else to talk about. I don't want to sit here and just try to think about things and let my camera time run. So if you will, shoot me some questions, comments, or anything. If there's anything you would care for me to try to demonstrate. Let me see. There is a little bit of bad news. I'm not going to be having my Botox injections this month because they are so backed up. So it will be January 15th when I go in for my Botox injections in my bladder. So I do apologize about that. I was hoping I would be able to have that done sometime this week, but things changed. So, but yeah, if you will, just please shoot me some questions, or a couple of different topics that maybe I could talk about. And yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. I really look forward to hearing, or not hearing, but hopefully getting some questions or suggestions. But until next time, all of you beautiful people have a wonderful night. And if you don't hear it from anybody else today, you heard it from me, folks. I love each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. And don't ever let anybody ever tell you that you are not beautiful, because you are. So, until next time, this is Adam, or the Super Para Prince. See you in my next video.